My name is Samir Kozbe. I am instructor in National Institute of Water Sports. I welcome you all for the workshop on water sports orientation and operational safety. On behalf of National Institute of Water Sports, I thank Trinity Chairman Dr. Joseph Dias that he has given us a slot for organizing this workshop for water sports orientation. So I will also welcome our assistant professor Dr. Ravindra Dogra sir, who is the MBA faculty for in National Institute of Water Sports, IITTM Goa. I also welcome CEO of ECHT, Mr. Sedwin, and Chief Technical Officer Mr. Roberto of ECHT company, which is the biggest water sports company in India. What is adventure water sports? We'll see what is adventure water sports. Then about the inland vessels and the pleasure craft guidelines. These guidelines mainly it is for the India, in which we are riding the water sports boat in the water, but what are the limits till where we can ride, and what is the limitation of the length of the boat and the seating capacity, that we should understand before we take our boat in the water for water sports. And also what are the documentation required for water sports and safety about the water sports. So main main motto of this awareness program is that in India the death ratio due to drowning in water is high. So that death ratio has to be decreased. So this is the record as per the National Crime Record Bureau from 2022 data. Out of the total accidental death, that is more than 4 lakh people died due to accidents. In that, only due to drowning 38,000 people have died, and out of that boat accidents were 256 deaths. So in that 1 year 256 people had lost their life just because of boat accidents. And in that boat accidents, some accidents are due to the water sports activity also. So that may be due to the operator's negligence, or due to the mechanical problem, or due to the natural phenomena. But we should understand that how we can reduce the number of deaths in the particular area. So that can only happen when we have the awareness about the water sports, when we are conducting the water sports activity, or when we are going for our own pleasure for the water sport. So we should also think about the safety. So adventure water sports is the adventure part, because normally adventure sports is the sports in which we have the risk of life. In normal sports there is very little risk of life, hardly 1 or 2% risk of life in normal sports. But when we talk about the adventure sports, we are competing against the nature. That could be the water, that could be the land, or that could be the air. So when we are competing against the nature, there is no limitation for our activity. Only the thing is, if we keep our safety aspects correct, the ratio of death or the accident will be low. So that's why the water sports we are doing for our pleasure. But for doing it for the pleasure, we should also think about the safety. Wherever you had gone for the water sports, you must have seen that many people just give the life jacket. But have you ever thought that is that life jacket comfortable for me? Is that accurate for my body weight and size? That we don't think. And the operator who is taking us in the water, is he qualified or not? That we are not asking. So without that basic safety norms, if we are not compelling to it, we are putting our life into risk, and we are putting our family's life also into risk. So in water sports safety, see you can see in these photos, in the raft, this may be hardly 6 or 9 seater raft, but more than 20 people are sitting in that. And also for the personal watercraft, jet ski, commonly we call it as a jet ski. In that also, that operator is taking 2 customers. One customer is sitting for front, one is at the behind pillion rudder. But he is jumping the wake. That is not allowed. When you are riding the jet ski and you are taking the customer with you in the water, you should not jump the wake. That is very risky for the customers. So we will see what safety measures you should think about each and every water sports activity. So parasailing, many of us have seen the parasailing activity all over in the Goa or anywhere in the India. So basically there are 2 types of parasailing. One is the winch parasailing and another is the beach parasailing. So in winch parasailing you can see here the person who is attached with the parachute, he is standing on the platform of the boat. He takes off from the platform. The winch motor is being released. That motor releases the rope. The person who is on the parachute attached with the harness, he will go up. When the winch is operated opposite direction, he will again land on the same boat. So there is much safety in the winch parasailing boat. But when we go to the beach parasailing, it is very much risky, because in this particular kind of water sports activity, you are taking off from the land and you have to land again back on the land. In this condition, your only boat is in the water, and if the wind direction is not accurate and the operator is not properly trained and he doesn't judges the wind correctly, the person who is attached with the parachute, he may fall in the water. I have a video to show you. You can please see this video, a short video. This guy is enjoying the parasailing, beach parasailing. So he is very happy, he is looking very happy here. He has taken off from the beach. He will be taken round on the water and again he has to be land on the beach. So for landing, if the wind is cross, he will not land on the beach, he will land in the water. So see, you can see here the wind is crossway, it is the land breeze. He is putting on the harness, the rope, the parachute, everything is there, and if he falls in the water, it is so much risk for his life. Yeah? No. So that people should not know. So all the happiness of his face has gone now. He is scolding the water sports guy. What you have done? So in many cases, the customers that got the head injury, in many cases they have drunken the water. So it is very risky activity. So whenever you are going for any water sports activity, please ask for their certification, ask for their safety standards. Then only you venture into the water sports activity. Next is the personal watercraft. In this already I have shown you the photo that in personal watercraft, first of all the operator must be qualified in life saving techniques. He should be qualified in powerboat handling, then he will get the certificate in personal watercraft or the jet ski. Okay, so this is the very high powered watercraft and it cannot be handled by a person who is novice. I love thrill, I will take a jet ski and you can learn it within half an hour. But it doesn't mean that you know all the safety aspects and you know all the hazards into doing that activity. So water sports activity, each and every watercraft, you should have a particular watercraft operating license. If you are riding a tiller boat, you should have a tiller boat license. If you have a steering operated boat, you should have that particular license. If you are operating a personal watercraft, you should have that particular license. If you are operating a parasailing boat, then you have to have that parasailing operator license also. Next is non-motorized activity. These are booming much in India now. So this is the stand-up paddle. It is very much getting famous. Many competitions have been conducted nowadays in India, national and international competitions. For this activity also again you should be qualified in life-saving techniques in water sports. Windsurfing, this is also a very good water sports activity. Next, kayaking. Yeah, in kayaking mostly we have seen this kind of kayak, that is sit on top kayak. So whenever we venture as a customer or a tourist for one day kayak activity, so mostly those activities are undertaken on the sit on top kayak. But another type of kayak is sit in kayak. So this particular, for operating this particular kayak, you should be properly trained. So in this sitting kayak, you can see the legs are inside the kayak, and when if the person is not trained and if the kayak flips, topple up, so it will be very risky for the person who is operating it. It will be difficult for him to reboard the kayak. So next activity is kite surfing. This is very thrilling activity. Nowadays in Goa, many places it has been conducted, and also in Pondicherry, in Gujarat. Sports fishing. In sports fishing also, this is also a very interesting activity, because people go to test their patience. When you are going for the fishing, you should have a proper patience, so that if you get the fish, you are excited, you are thrilled, but until you are not getting the fish, you are just testing your patience. Boating in India, almost wherever you go, whichever water body you can see, let it be lake, a dam or river, you will definitely see a boating activity over there. So for this particular boating activity, you must know that operator should be trained and qualified. And for water sports activity, if it is a water sports boating activity, the boat should be less than 12 seater. And if the boat is more than 12 seater, the qualification of the operator changes. So if the particular watercraft, the number of sitting capacity is increasing more than 12, your operating license will also has to be advanced level. So wakeboarding, this activity has been done. It is a towing activity. A high powered board has to be there, just like this, which is standing just in beside us. So it is wakeboarding, or you can do a skiing, water skiing with this particular towing activity. Sailing. Sailing, this is also non-motorized activity. It has different kinds of sailing. You can see a dinghy sailing or enterprise sailing. This is the leisure sailing. Then yacht sailing. In yacht sailing, mainly people mostly have done circumnavigation of the earth. They have taken a complete round of the earth with this particular yachts. Okay, in India, Commander Thomas, who is ex-Navy, he is the only Indian who has circumnavigated the earth with that too solo. Scuba diving. Also, scuba diving is also very interesting activity, which is happening in Goa, Maharashtra, in Gujarat, then Karnataka, Pondicherry, Andaman and Lakshadweep Islands. So, so in India, presently scuba diving training have been conducted by the only by the centers who have qualified SSI or PADI qualified instructors, and they certify only PADI or SSIs have been giving certification for the scuba diving. So this scenario has to be changed, because there is no such certification just by the Indian center, but National Institute of Water Sports is just putting a proposal to the ministry to certify a scuba diving person, so that the person who has been trained in India, the whole money is been spent in India only. Because when we are getting a training from a SSI or PADI, most of the money is being going to the foreign countries. Very less money remains in our country. Then comes snorkeling. This is a very good exercise activity in water sports. Recently, our Prime Minister, he has done this activity in Lakshadweep, and after that, this activity has become most famous. Surfing. Also, this activity is very much interesting for the youths who want to ride the waves. So, without any propulsion, just with the surf, you are boarding or standing on the board, balancing yourself. So, this is our instructor, Mr. Rohan. Is he here? Okay, he is there only. This is his photo. He is surfing on the board. Then whitewater rafting. So, whenever you go for the rafting anywhere in India, let it be Dandeli or Rishikesh or Jammu or Himachal Pradesh, always ask the operator that do you have a qualified river rafting guide, because that river rafting guide has to be certified in life saving techniques, and also he has to be certified in river rafting guide, because unless he has been qualified in life saving techniques, if any incident happens in the river, in that rapid river, he is the person who should be there for the rescue. Because many times in Rishikesh, almost monthly one incident happens. This is happening every month in Rishikesh, and yearly 4 to 5 deaths are taking place in Rishikesh just due to because in this particular activity. And most of the guides who are there, I don't want to say it, but they don't have a proper certification, just they are having the experience and they are riding the river rafting. So whenever you are going for any activity, please ask for the operator certification. Flyboarding, now this is also a very good activity. Mr. Sedwin, he has introduced this activity in India very much more than 10 years before. It was in Lavasa, now it is in Chhattisgarh, and also in Goa this activity is happening, and in the also again newly it will be introduced in Andaman Nicobar Islands. So for this activity again in India there is no qualified instructor, but for that we should have a properly trained person. This flyboard is operated by the water thrust, which is coming from the jet ski, personal watercraft. So the jet ski is water which is sucking from the front and it is pushing from behind. That water thrust is coming through this pipe and it is exiting through this flyboard. So the person who is standing on the flyboard, he should be explain correctly the procedure, how to wear that gear, how to balance yourself, then how to maneuver yourself. So for that you should get proper instructions from a trained person only. So now in India we are having only one professionally pro flyboarder. He is Mr. Chetan. We have his video. This is his Maldives video. He was getting trained in Maldives. So now this Mr. Chetan is going to Poland for the World Championship in flyboarding. He will represent India. He is the first person who will represent India in flyboarding. Next. Okay, there are very more activities which have been conducted in India in underwater activities. One is submersible scooter, another is sea walk. This is happening in Andamans. And National Institute of Water Sports is the only center who undertakes feasibility study for introducing any new water sports activity anywhere in India. So we have a MOU signed with the Andaman governments to train their manpower and also to undertake any feasibility study for new activities and prepare their guidelines. Sea cart, this is also a jet operated boat, and in this it is an inflatable jet operated boat. A customer is given hands-on experience to operate it. You can see this only in Andamans. Flying tube and flying fish. It is just like a banana which we have seen there. That is a single banana, but it just remains on the water. But this flying tube or flying fish, it takes off and you will get the experience of flying in the air. But for this you should have a properly high powered engine. The power of the engine boat should be more than 150 HP. Then only you will get the experience to fly in the air. Okay, now coming to the guidelines in water sports. So for India to ride a boat, we should know that what is the limit where I can do the water sports activity. Mainly the water sports activity can be only done in inland waters and near the shore. The near the shore means up to 1 nautical mile area. So Inland Waterways Authority of India is the only agency in India who makes the laws and regulations for construction, for manning and for survey of the boat. So in this Inland Vessels Act, next. Inland Vessels Act is the main guidelines for operating the boat in India. Specifically for water sports, you cannot see anything written into this particular Inland Vessels Act, but you can take many things from that pertains to your boat registration, your boat insurance, your certification of the operators, that is mentioned in this Inland Vessels Act. Then again in the sub part of the Inland Vessels Act, it is Inland Vessels Manning Rules. So in Inland Vessels Manning Rules, it differentiate that your boat till what distance it can go and what should be the water condition. The water condition is divided into 3 zones. For water sports, you should always do your water sports activity in zone 3, that is the wave height up to 0.6 meter. If the wave height is more than 0.6 meters, at that particular place water sports should not be conducted. And again the category of the boat, the category of the vessel for water sports should not be more than 10 meters when you are specifically going for the water sports. So you can see the parasailing boat, that is the longest boat which you see in water sport, and it is almost approximately 10 meters in length. Again, then apart from Inland Vessels Act, we also have DG shipping rules for small pleasure watercraft. So when we are venturing in the sea, for that Director General Shipping rules had to be followed. In that Director General Shipping, they had mentioned the guidelines for pleasure watercraft. In that category 4 vessels, the category 4 vessels that can be operated only up to the distance of 1 nautical mile, and the maximum sitting capacity is 12. So whenever you think about the watercraft, water sports, always remember the watercraft can only go up to the 1 nautical mile distance from the shoreline, and the maximum sitting capacity is 12. Your boat should not be occupied by persons more than 12. Then comes the documentation. As per the Inland Vessels Act, and depending upon the different port departments, you have to submit this particular documents for registration of your boat or getting the permission in water sports. So your boat builder certificate, your boat design should be approved by any IACS. What is IACS? It is a International Association of Classification Society. Like in India, we are wearing helmet of ISI mark, Indian Standard Institute. Okay, so the ISI is the agency who test and certify that this particular helmet is of a good quality. Likewise, for certifying the boat or any marine equipment, IACS agency should test and certify it. In India, we have IRS, Indian Register of Shipping, who certifies each and every boat, and even the big ships, even Indian Navy ships, they test it and they certify it and they give their quality IRS certification. Then you should have a boat registration. Like when you buy a bike or a car, we register it in RTO. Same way, when we buy a motor boat, it should be registered in your port department, respective port department. Then when you buy a vehicle, we also buy the insurance. Same way, you should have a particular hull and machinery insurance, that is your boat and machine insurance. Then you should also have this insurance of your operator and the crew and the seating capacity. Then the certification of the boat operator, whatever kind of watercraft that operator is riding, he should have that particular certification to ride that particular watercraft. And then again, NOC or the permissions. If you are operating the boat for your own personal use, you should have at least captain of port permissions. But when you are using that boat for the commercial purpose, then you should have permission from the tourism department, and also from other relative department like irrigation or fisheries department or the coastal police or the marine police. Next. Okay, so for water sports operators, there are different kinds of certification. You can see, first basic mandatory certification is the life saving techniques. So whenever a person who is operating the boat, he is taking the customers in the boat, first of all he should be trained and certified in life saving techniques. That includes the rescue, first aid and CPR. Then when he is operating the motorized watercraft, the first basic certification he should have that is personal powerboat handling tiller. Then when it comes to high powered motorboat that is operated with controlled with steering, then it should be a remote, that is steering operated boat certification. Then likewise, whichever watercraft you are operating, you should have that particular certification. Next. Okay, so in any water sports center, that particular center should also have an emergency action plan for any eventualities. If anything happens, that particular water sports center should be ready, that who will do what action when that emergency takes place. Next. This basic resuscitation equipment should be placed in every water sports center. That includes the portable oxygen cylinder, a portable pocket mask, ambu bag, or if they can afford, they can have a AD machine. And also, because the water sports is a risky activity, in that spinal injury may take place. For that, water sports center should also be ready for spinal injuries, and they should have a spinal management equipments. Next. Okay, now for the safety in water sports, what things you have to consider for personal is your life jackets, then the first aid kit. A boat should have a basic first aid kit, then the personal flotation device, that a proper type 3 PFD. The PFD should be the of size for each and every person who is coming for the sport, starting from the age 2 years till the high weight person, obese person, that is maybe up to 140 kilogram. So for every size, the life jacket should be available in that particular water sports center. Then for boat safety, boat should not be kept at one place until that hull gets barnacles, or it should not be damaged. Even if it getting damaged, it should be maintained properly, and the engines, it has to be taken care of correctly. A boat should always have a basic toolkit. If any incident happens in the water, he should be able to troubleshoot the engine, and a fire extinguisher has to be there in the boat, because boat is having an inflammable liquid, that is petrol or diesel. Then it has to be equipped with a fire extinguisher. For the environment safety, because the boats have been operated in water, most of the places in water you can see the oil is spilled, or garbage has been thrown, or unused nets and ropes, they are thrown in water. So for this, we are the responsible person, we should not do it, and we also have to consider the safety of environment, because we are affecting the marine life. Because of our mistake, they are suffering. So that's all for our water sports center, water sports awareness and operation safety. Thank you very much.
To be very brief, we would like to thank the National Water Sports Association and authority here in Goa. It is indeed a blessing for us that you are based here and that you could give such good advice to all of us here. So thank you, sir, for all that you have done for us. We would like to hear from the audience also if you have any questions to ask, and we have certain water sports companies coming here, if they could also share their knowledge on this.
This first thing is safety. I run about 11 water sports from Assam to Coimbatore, yes, in Goa too. But first priority of mine is to keep safety and proper certification. So I'm tied up with NIAAS. I get a lot of companies coming to me, ye bhi karo, wo bhi karo, but still I say no, NIAAS is the best, because I've been associated with NIAAS for almost about 18 years. I've been certified myself by NIAAS as a lifeguard boat operator. So I keep up with everyone, the same thing, all my staff, proper certification, proper equipment. Yes, what sir said is right. Whatever is shown today, it has to be the same. It cannot change. The risk is very high. So thanks NIAAS for this lovely thing which you are portraying to everyone, and I hope everyone understands also water sports is fun, at the same time it's risk. So let us keep it as fun for now. Thank you.